Good evening. We present the news summary. 20 emergency houses are to be built on the Oro Island in Ansitwal district during the next 3 months. The Minister for Land and Housing, Billy Rangasamy, together with the Minister for Local Government and Community Affairs, Rosemary Waro, laid the foundation stone for the project this morning. The first part of the project is expected to be completed around mid-January next year. 2 more houses will be added later. The whole project, comprising of 14 one-bedroom units and 8 two-bedroom units, is costing the government approximately 15.5 million rupees.
The objectives of this project are twofold. Initially is to prepare us with a housing option that can relieve issues of disaster, emergencies, for example, unfortunate fires, flooding, natural disasters. So there's that component, that emergency component. However, there's also another element because we have a number of sites here in this country where we are doing redevelopment projects. And because in order to accelerate this project, we need to have alternative accommodation for these people. And once we can relocate some of these people here, we can then facilitate, our infrastructure team can push to get the actual redevelopment projects completed.
It will cater for people from all over Mahe.
This project, it's located in the north, so there would be an emphasis to prioritize and alleviate issues of people in the north, for example, because again, there's issues of maybe school for the children where they've already been at school in that area and they have an unfortunate incident. So it goes more towards the people in the north for sure and central region. However, there won't be a block to accommodate someone that with an incident that happens in the south, for example. However, in the long term, our plan is to continue having a few of those in different regions, similar type of projects, fast-tracked, that can facilitate such challenges.
The Ministry of Education intends to organize a national debate on the relevance and modernity of the zoning system. Education Minister Justin Valentin announced the intention in the National Assembly whilst answering questions on the situation of the zoning system and its inconvenience, particularly to schools around town. He said difficulties arise when parents request exemption for their children to attend school outside their zone and closer to their places of work. As a consequence, primary and secondary schools around town are full and can no longer take in pupils and students from other zones. There has been a decrease in the percentage of students obtaining grade C or higher in English, French, and mathematics over the past 3 years. The worst performance are recorded in mathematics. Education Minister Justin Valentin announced that his ministry is not satisfied with the results as it has not achieved the goals it set for itself. Minister Valentin presented the National Assembly with a report on the results of the national exams at the end of primary 6 in response to a question from the elected representative of the Montbixton district, Gervais Henry. In 2018, 24% of students scored a C or higher grade compared to 25% in 2019, and last year, in 2020, that dropped to 15%. The director of the Financial Intelligence Unit has presented to the President a copy of the report on activities the unit conducted during the year 2020. He met with the President at State House. Richard Rampal says despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the unit has done its utmost with the available resources and is satisfied with the outcome of the report.
The report represents the progress of the activities that the FIU has been doing in 2020. Despite the pandemic in 2020, for us, we have remained committed in what we had to do. We've experienced an increase in the reportings from the reporting sector on the island, and which means more analysis has been undertaken by the FIU. And from that, these informations are being disseminated to law enforcement authorities. And even we've started making some spontaneous dissemination to sectors that we feel might be useful in supporting the work of the FIU in combating money laundering and financing of terrorism on the island.
Developed countries should take concrete actions to help mitigate climate change as they have a responsibility to help everybody and the planet as a whole. That's part of a statement made by President Ramkalawan in an interview with China Global Television Network, CGTN. The full interview is expected to be aired on CGTN tomorrow afternoon as part of an international meeting on biological diversity being held in China. The week-long meeting began yesterday, and the Chinese President Xi Jinping announced the launch of a $232.4 million fund to support biodiversity protection in developing countries. Diplomats, scientists, and conservationists are participating in the international forum with the aim of forging a global agreement to halt and reverse the destruction of nature. This was the news summary. Thank you for your attention.